2019, and we are two brown chicks changing the face of therapy on both sides of the couch. Yes.
Welcome to the first show of 2019.
Happy 2019. Happy New Year. Yes.
Did you enjoy the break? The little break we had?
I did. I did.
Love doing the show, but it was nice to have like a couple weeks off, and especially with the holidays and clients and all kind of stuff. Yeah.
And just, but it's good to be back into the routine.
Yeah. Right.
I realized I need structure.
Yeah, I feel the same way. After the holidays, it's like, okay, I'm gonna see all my clients on this day, and I have Monday, Tuesday off. But wait, what day is it today?
Right.
Yeah.
I did not know what day it was until this week.
She's back on it. That's so funny.
Yes.
So today, as you can see, we do have a guest, and our guest is Jason Montanez. Oh, I don't want to say your name, Montanez.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
you got it. First take.
Yes.
First take.
I meant to ask you this time, but I wanted to find out. Okay.
First
Jason
take.
Montanez.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about 99 things to quit.
I love it.
Which it sounds, I just, after I read some of the questions and like, I was like, ooh, this feels like it's going to touch home. I don't know. So
it's okay, I got you.
Thank you.
I'll hold space for you.
Afterwards, somebody would sit in silence for a second so I can figure out what to do with my life.
Do some reflection.
Right. So I think this is a perfect, like you said, perfect time, and I think maybe you said it, for the new year.
Absolutely.
And as people are trying to like change their lives and do new things and that kind of stuff, it's important to figure out like what things do you need to quit and why it's good to be a quitter.
Yeah.
Right.
So first, can you tell us about your book and how you're working to change the mental health game for minorities?
Yeah, definitely. So the reason why I wrote this book, I've got 99 Things to Quit and Giving Up, is to really help and serve people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to do a lot of self-reflection and looking in the mirror, and I said, you know what? Once I did that, the whole trajectory of my life changed, right? My relationships started getting better, my finances started getting better, just life in general started getting better. So what I said is, I started detailing the things that I had to quit, and then also detailing the things that I looked and observed with others that they had to quit. Because I'm a firm believer that you don't necessarily have to learn from your mistakes, but you could definitely learn by observing and watching others what not to do.
Right.
Wise man.
Wise man. Right? So,
Wise man.
So yeah, I'm on this search for wisdom and understanding in my life, right? I'm in a search for it, and how is it helping the mental health community and changing the game is, I believe a large part of that is really looking yourself in the mirror and quitting a lot of those things. Because what happens is, we've been trained and programmed all our lives not to quit.
Yeah.
Right.
And quitting is for losers.
Yeah.
Right? When my message is totally different.
Right.
That we do need to quit.
Right.
But we can never give up. And I differentiate that.
I love that.
The difference between quitting and giving up.
Right.
What is the difference?
The difference is, quitting is the process, right? So along the way in life, you have to go through processes and procedures in order to get to where you're going, right?
Yeah.
So at some point in life, you're gonna have to look yourself in the mirror, communicate with trusted advisors, people that you trust, and say, okay, what are the things that I need to quit because I'm not getting the results that I desire?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now the giving up part is the progress, right? We can never stop the progress. We can never stop moving forward and trying to attain those goals, those dreams, those desires to really live the very best life that we possibly can. Right?
So it's really sort of this clearing, right? So if you're going to go in a different direction, there are some things that you got to let go of, right?
Yeah.
Quitting these different, and you got 99 of them.
Right. And let me tell you, not one person, I hope not one person got all 99 to quit, but I'm hoping. To be honest with you, after reflecting and writing this book, there were things that I came to mind, like, I didn't even put in that book. So there are more than 99.
Of course.
There are more than 99. These are just, I guess, my top 99.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
And I like the process versus the progress, because I think sometimes we forget that we get so focused on, I have to do it this way, I have to do it this way.
Right.
But if that's not the way for you to have progress, then you have to let that go and find a way that's really going to give you progress in your life.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So 99, I got 99 things I gotta give up. I gotta quit, but giving up ain't one.
No, giving up is one.
Oh, giving up is
Giving
one?
up is. Let me give
I
you
thought
that.
giving up wasn't one.
Giving up is one.
Oh.
Is
Check
Wait,
this out.
giving up.
Check this out. So it's a play on words.
Yeah.
You got me confused now. Okay, rewind.
Yeah, and that's
Giving
the point.
up is one.
That's the point. I've got 99 things to quit, and giving up is one. We gotta quit giving up.
Yeah.
Oh! I gotta quit jumping ahead.
She's like, got it. Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We gotta quit giving up because at the end of the day, last year when we saw so many celebrities taking their own lives, right?
Yeah.
And from the outside looking in, you think that they have everything. They got they have the houses, the cars, the monetary, they have the fame, the stardom, everything.
The exterior.
But something's missing.
Right.
Something's still missing, right? And those individuals gave up.
Yeah.
Right? People give up every single day. And I don't want people to give up anymore.
Yeah.
Right? I want people to quit the processes, the procedures, the way that they're living their lives, but I never want them to stop the progress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And understanding that's gonna open up the path for the other ways for you to continue your
Right.
You know,
Once
it's
you
like
let go of something,
yeah,
other things come forward.
because we do hold on,
Right, without a doubt.
Definitely.
because what we know how to do, right?
We know
If
how
I
to
just
do.
do more of this,
And especially when
Right.
you're holding on to something that maybe you stepped out of your comfort zone to try.
right?
And so then now I have to, that didn't work.
Mhm.
Right.
So I gotta do this again and again and again, and that's hard.
Right.
That's
And
very hard.
life, and there's life, right? Like
Yeah.
keep going and keep going,
Especially when you've invested time and resources in it too,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Right?
And pride,
Right?
right? And your pride.
That's right.
Like this is gonna be the time that I shine. This is my year, right? And then you're like, oh wait,
Not this time. I have to quit that to
right?
bring something else in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is so difficult? I know we kind of touched on that, but why is it so difficult for people to quit? Especially men,
I
like
think
to quit
it's-
situations
yeah.
and relationships that may not be as good for them as
Well, in my opinion, it's a couple things, right? So something we already talked about from an investment perspective,
Mhm.
whether it's time, resources, energy, we tend to invest in things and we want to call them our little babies, and right? And it's hard for us to let go of these things, right? Number two is I think it feels good. Sometimes things feel so good and we don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
Even though we know that it's not good for us,
Right.
right? Because it puts us in this maybe a state of euphoria or a state where we feel so good that if we let it go, we're afraid of the unknown,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's fear as well,
Yeah.
Right.
And lastly, what's really hard, and I detail this in my 9 things to. It's called the Quitter's Cheat Sheet, which are 9 things to prepare yourself for a life of quitting. And one of those things is abandonment, right? Because when you quit, people are going to quit you,
Right.
okay?
Right.
Yeah.
When you quit, because what happens is when you stop acting a certain way, people are going to quit you because you no longer have something to offer them.
Right. This was not
Okay.
part of their agenda.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You telling me you're not going to buy out the bar anymore?
Mhm.
Oh, I can't talk to you
Right.
anymore.
You changed.
Right, exactly. You're telling me you're gonna focus on your marriage now, so you're not gonna go out with me anymore?
Right.
I quit you.
Yeah.
You have nothing to
Yeah.
offer me anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna be
Yeah.
spending more time with your children and your family.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Jason, you're not for me anymore.
Right.
So
True.
so quitting these things, you're gonna have to be
Prepared.
You're gonna have to be prepared for abandonment, and that's one of the reasons I think people, especially men, they keep doing the same thing that's hampering them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of see a common. I mean, I've done no actual formal studies of this, but I've kind of seen a theme with men is there is like this anxiety or this fear in disappointing others, like this real sort of like, if I'm gonna let you down in some way, or I'm not gonna live up to what it was that your expectation was. I mean, I think we all do it, but I just see it a lot with men, particularly in relationships, and so they'll avoid, right, or they'll half truth, anything to kind of skirt around that, like, no, I can't do that. So that's what's really coming to mind when you talk about kind of quitting this other people's approval, right?
Yeah.
For the need for other people's
Without
approval.
doubt. And I think what you're really going into on a deeper level is the ego.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Right? So men in general have this machismo, ego, alpha male type of mentality, and they don't want to show any weakness, right? So a huge, and this is one of the 99 quits, is quit not being vulnerable, right? You have to show some vulnerability. Even from a leadership perspective, you have to humanize yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to show that sometimes you're not perfect, right? And to even get you deeper, on a deeper level, when I was going through marriage counseling and everything, our pastor said that ego stands for edging God out, right?
Sure.
So if you have a firm, solid foundation, that there really shouldn't be that insecurity there, right? If you have that, if you're grounded and you have that solid foundation. So I think at the end of the day, that's the foundation for everything.
So I'm so curious, right? Because you see this big guy here, right? Ex-football player.
Yeah, how you could oh yeah, I told you that's why.
I did my research.
Okay.
Right? Ex-football player, and you think about the culture of athletes, men, you know, minority men. Like, so how did you get to that point where you're like, I need to be more vulnerable? And I love that you're saying it, like, because I think men need to hear that from other men. And coming from men that look like you, right? They said, no, like, we got to be more vulnerable. Like, so how did you?
Especially because the way we raised men.
Absolutely.
Oh, you getting deep?
Yes.
I mean, I love it.
That's what we do around here.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
We are therapists.
Yeah, no doubt. And I promise to be transparent. So I wasn't always like that. It took time. It took effort. It took my wife. So I'm a firm believer that having a strong woman will take you to places that you didn't even see for yourself. And it was in conversations with my wife, and because like you said, I had the avoidance factor. I would avoid arguments. I would avoid, talking, anything that I felt was uncomfortable. I would avoid it. Right? And then what happened is I started talking about my feelings and how I felt. Right? So in arguments, what I noticed is I wasn't telling my wife how I felt. I was just lashing out on how it made me feel, but I didn't necessarily tell her what I felt.
Right. So like the details
or my disappointment or whatever, but I didn't tell her how I felt, how it made me feel.
Or how it hurt you.
Or how it hurt me. Right? So then what happened is, in my lashing out, the tongue is so powerful. Right? The tongue is very powerful, right? And in my lashing out, I would, say things that I really didn't mean, the way I really didn't feel in the time. And there goes that selfish moment again, because not being vulnerable is selfish. Okay? The reason why I say that is because now you're doing things that make you feel good at the expense of somebody else. Right? So now I'm going to make myself feel good. I'm going to pump my chest up, but somebody else is not feeling good as a result. Right?
Yeah.
So that's
so she really, so that relationship and your wife really challenged you to show up in a different way.
Without a doubt.
Love that.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. That, if I can point to something, it was, well, first, you know, re-grounding myself in the Word, right? And then my wife on top of that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to become a quitter? What led to that?
Well, basically, so last year, seeing all these people take their lives, I said, something's wrong with the society. My personal experiences that I just detailed with my relationship and my children also inspired me to be a quitter and be the very best that I possibly can be, and to live the very best life that I possibly can. And seeing other people giving up on a daily basis and using the word can't. That's one word that it's like the 4-letter word that I despise. Right?
Yeah, our last did the second podcast with the fellas from Reading with the Rappers, same exact thing.
Yeah. I don't like that word. So that really inspired me, and I'm on a mission to really change the narrative, change the negative connotation associated with the word quit.
That's awesome.
And I want people to understand that quitting is a good thing as long as we are quitting the thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors, the people.
Right, those are the relationships, those situations
are holding us back. Not everybody can go.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's
Not
true.
everybody can go.
And you have to focus on your progress and what you want, and be willing to let go of those people or quit those relationships or have them quit you.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, because you can't go with everybody either.
That's right.
Like we talk about, like not everybody can go with you, but you can't go with everybody either.
Exactly.
And that's either because the direction they're going or because you haven't done your work either. And I think that's why it's important for us to continuously be ongoing and monitoring. And I just think about the list of what I need to quit.
But see, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It really is a self-reflection tool. And my hope is that when people read through this book, because not only have I identified things to quit, I've also offered a solution. I also put, this is what you need to quit, but here's the solution.
Oh, I love that. Good.
Right?
Because sometimes we do leave people there like, well, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do I do now?
Yeah, it's my opinion on what the solution should be.
Love it. I love it.
In each and every instance.
Very helpful.
So as we're going into 2019, or we're in 2019 now, if you had to pick one thing that people need to quit, tell us what that is and why.
I would say quit being silent. Right? So quit doing it all alone. You have to.
That's the theme for 2019.
I mean, really.
It is.
Really.
It's so true.
You know, especially last year with the whole Me Too movement and just the outburst of people speaking up, both for men and women. I think that the time is now. People are suffering by themselves inside, right? People that on the exterior, it looks like they got everything going on, right? But going back to that vulnerability, going back to getting rid of that ego, going back to raising your hand up and saying, I need help. It's okay to seek help. It is okay to seek help.
Right.
Therapy is dope.
Yes.
Very.
All right? Therapy is dope. When I was going through our marriage before I got married, premarital counseling, we sought therapy. You know, we sought the advice and the wisdom of a couple that had been married for 54 years, right? And they kept it 100% real with us. 100% real with us, right? And that's what I aspired to be someday.
Yeah.
But if I can say there's one thing, is quit being silent. Quit being silent. If you're going through anything, if you need help with anything, find there are resources out there, right? There are resources out there and people want to help.
Right.
There are people that want to help. So quit being silent.
Right.
And especially now, this kind of goes into that, but I'm thinking of it even from like the business side, all that kind of stuff. Like, we live in a time where you are so connected to everybody and everything, and it's easier. I'm not gonna say it's easy, because even with finding a therapist, all that kind of stuff, I still know it's difficult to find that connection. But it's easier than it has been to find what you need if you speak up, if you ask, if you look. It's a lot easier, and so I think we have to take advantage of the time we're in. And so when you feel like you're by yourself, do what you need to do to try to get the help.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this. It's so funny that because we were just talking about this yesterday, like the theme, because even asking the people in your life for help, you know, like I know I'm a person that struggles with that. It's like, hey, I need help with this. Like, I don't want to tell you, right? Like, I don't want to tell you. And so sometimes, even just within your own circle, your own support system, right? Like, some people you know not to ask, but there's some people that's like, they want to be able to show up for you.
Right.
And you don't give them that chance.
And you don't give them the chance. And yeah, sometimes I mean, even for therapists, being vulnerable is sometimes hard, right? Like,
definitely.
Because it does put you in this position. And I think so many of us that come from, you know, minority backgrounds where suck it up, keep going, don't let people know that you're suffering, don't let people know your business, like, keep it going, you're strong, like, you can do this, like, your grandmother, you're like, you know, so that's just the narrative that we're used to.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, for therapists, it's like you're supposed to have it all together. Right. The expectation that, well, you're a therapist, so you should be fine.
Well, you got problems?
Right. So they come to you for all their stuff, but then you can't necessarily reach out because they're like, oh, no, but you know. And it's like, no.
Right. Because you're too close to the problem.
Exactly.
You're too close. I tell people all the time, you know, it's like, if I have food on my face and you don't tell me, and unless I go to a mirror, like, I'm not going to know because it's too close to me. And that's how our problems are, right? It's too close to me. I can't see it. Yeah. I need somebody to kind of bounce it off of me. Right. So,
I think it's judgment, too. Cause we're,
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. we talk about it all the time. We're like, we do not have it all together.
That's awesome.
And sometimes what it is, you may be a little steps ahead. You know, you're a few steps ahead. So I can let you know where from here, I'll hold my hand and come this way because I've been there. But I still have my own process. We still have our own process. So I think that's what you're speaking to, is it's going to be a lifelong process where you are monitoring, checking, seeking support. Monitoring, checking, seeking support. So
that's right.
The more comfortable we can get with that.
Right.
You know?
And you bring such a good point. This is a lifelong process.
Absolutely.
This process of quitting, you cannot wake up today and say, I'm going to quit this, and then it just changed tomorrow. This
I
is
quit all 99 today. I'm
so good. By the end of the week, I'm on the accelerated
You know?
It takes a while.
It does.
You have to commit to it every day.
Commitment, that's right.
So, your favorite resource or book?
In addition,
talk about your book.
Yeah, good. Show the people your book. That's a great book. Look at that.
Yes.
Man,
I've got 99 things to quit, and giving up is one.
Giving up is one.
Right? Yes. You can go to my website, www.99thingstoquit.com. Learn more about the book, available on Amazon right now.
Love it.
So, my favorite resource, and we were talking about this off camera, is the internet. That's my favorite resource in the world because, like, I have a couple degrees. I have an MBA. I have other leadership certificates. I could go on the internet and I can learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Right? I could go to YouTube. I could learn. We have the internet has given us
so much access.
So much access.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So much access and knowledge. There is nothing that word can't, right? You cannot use that with
everything is available.
Because everything's available. Everything. I can find out anything about anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And my favorite books is let's see. So when I was in college, in my yoga class,
I love you're in yoga.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's great for flexibility. I needed it because I was always, as an athlete, my hamstrings were always tight. But 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, I believe.
Okay.
By Deepak Chopra. And the other book, I forget the author, but As a Man Thinketh.
What
was his name? I forget his name. But As a Man Thinketh. As you can see with this book, I'm huge on thought process, mental, right? And the way we think and how that impacts everything.
Yeah, love it.
Thank you.
I know we've been talking about this for the past 30 minutes, but tell us a little bit about what makes you dope.
Well, I think what makes me dope is the fact that I have lived in 4 different states. Yep. And I have had to acclimate myself to different cultures and people, and empathize with different types of people and associate with different types of people. What makes me dope is my father was the only person in his family to get a college degree. Come from the hood of Brooklyn, New York.
That's the accent you hear. That's not Missouri City.
Spring.
I think what makes me dope is the fact that I've graduated college. I have a master's. I'm a family man. I have 4 beautiful children. Like, dang, he look young. Well, yeah, we have a blended family. I love it. Right?
I love it.
And I'm a man of God. I'm unapologetically a Christ believer. And I put my flag up each and every day and try to be an example of that each and every day.
Oh, I love that.
So awesome.
Love it.
So thank you.
So you're donating proceeds of your book to help veterans with their mental health.
Yes, I am.
Which is
why
very
is
dope.
therapy dope?
Yeah, so that I partnered with a nonprofit headquartered out of California.
Okay.
They're called the Soldiers Project.
Okay.
And basically what they do is their main mission is to heal the hidden wounds of war. And I dedicated this book to my uncle who recently passed last year. And he was a veteran, and I have cousins that are veterans. My dad was a veteran. And my uncle did 2 tours of Iraq, and when he came back, there was noticeable PTSD, mental health issues, right? Which ultimately, when people come back, and you've heard of instances where they turn to drugs and alcohol and domestic abuse and things of that nature. But my uncle's vice was really food, right? So he kept on eating like uncontrollably, and that ultimately led to a heart attack. So I said, you know what? He was such a great male figure in my life that I was going to honor him with this book. And he was so passionate. When I tell you passionate about serving his country and serving in the military, I wanted to make sure that I dedicate this book and somehow I connect with a group that's helping in that way. And so for every book that I sell, I'm donating $1, whether it's paperback or ebook. And the main goal, my goal is to raise $10,000 for that organization.
Love it.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Love that.
So tell us a little bit how people can find you, follow you, keep in touch.
Yeah. So you can follow me on social media, Instagram, Jason B. Montanez, B with a boy. Facebook, Jason B. Montanez. Also, you can go to www.99thingstoquit.com and you can learn more about the book. But I definitely do appreciate the support.
We're so grateful to have you here. This was so wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate the
definitely
time.
trying to share this with everybody I know, especially the men.
All the fellas need to be tuned in.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes.
Fellas, there's strength in vulnerability.
Yes.
Strength.
Yes, absolutely.
Strength.
Yes.
No doubt.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you follow Melanin and Mental Health at Melanin and Mental Health across social media, Melanin Health on Twitter. Head over to melaninandmentalhealth.com. If you are a dope therapist, sign up for the directory. If you're looking for a therapist, check out the list that we have, or just send us an email if you don't see anybody on the list. Webinar coming up.
Yes, we have a webinar in 2 weeks. Right. right? So it's on the 21st.
21st, yes.
Yes. So our very own Danielle Bowman of DMK Counseling is going to be talking to us about mental health trends in our Black and Latinx youth and how we can support them. So it does not take a lot. All you have to see is log on to your phone in the morning and scroll through your newsfeed, and you can see all of these different challenges that our communities are dealing with.
Right.
And as adults, how difficult it is for us to process and to stay grounded. Well, think about our children, think about our youth and the vulnerability that they have. So Danielle's going to be going over, sometimes our youth is labeled as bad, a bad kid or acting out, and really it's trauma. Right. Or there's neglect, or there's other factors going on. So she's going to be talking about and teaching us some of the signs to look for and how we can support our youth. So make sure you sign up for that webinar on the 21st.
Yes, definitely. So I think that's pretty much it for now. So thank y'all for joining, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Thank you. Bye.